I've played over 330 hours on test drive so far, and I kind of wanted to have a quick walk through the game. What have we done in 330 hours? What have we managed to achieve? How much have I enjoyed it? Well, I think it's probably going to be clear by now. You guys should know I have loved test drive so far. Not without its issues, but I have largely loved it as a game. Kind of starting off in the garage here, I'm going to have a quick inventory check. Kind of listed out my favoured cars in game, and we're kind of going to walk through progress that I've had so far. Ferrari F40 goes without saying, one of my favourite cars of all time. Absolutely love that thing. I don't think I've actually done a ludicrous amount of miles in it. Imagine if we go into the car, we should be able to check it. Can we somehow get into the car? There we go. What have we got? 224 miles on it. I would have assumed we had much more on the F40 as it is, but yeah, love the F40. Over to one of my most used cars, that is Shadowband. When we go into a live gameplay situation, when we go online with one another, the livery appears to be Shadowband from Test Drive, my kind of Dubai-esque livery that I've got on the Huracan. Love this thing. It's an absolute monster in game. Very much challenges most other cars without an issue. It says on the dashboard I've only done 361 kilometers. Not sure how accurate these are. I feel like I've done a hell of a lot more miles than that in the Huracan Evo. Performante, sorry. Over next to the Jaguar F-Type SVR. Now, of course, I got this with the gold edition of the game. In my opinion, probably the best all-round vehicle in the game. On-road, off-road, supercar racing, whatever it may be, farming for him. This thing is an absolute weapon. I absolutely love this car, cannot go without it. It's probably one of my more favoured go-to cars. Now, I know for a fact the dashboard readings are not correct. This says 361 miles, and I know for a fact I've done over well over 1,000 miles in the car, so I know that those dashboards are not reading correctly. But nonetheless, what a fantastic car the F-Type has been for myself. Next up, I've got one of my more recent purchases is the Audi Q7. Now, of course, we bought that coming into the fix that happened with the sunroof and the live weekly events from there. I've built for what I would assume is pretty epic, this livery. Absolutely love what I've kind of done with this Q7. Because we don't have the RS6 Avant in game, kind of copied what the ABT RS6 Avant would look like, but putting it onto the Q7. Fantastic off-road vehicle, guys. I don't think it's the best. I do still believe the Lamborghini Urus to be the best vehicle in game, but the Audi Q7 in all of its glory. Next up, a Marmite car, a very Marmite car, is the Citroen 2CV. Now, of course, this was the very first live weekly event. We had to buy the Citroen 2CV to celebrate the Citroen 2CV birthday. Now, it is a Marmite car. Not everybody loves it. A lot of people actually hate driving this thing. And yes, it has largely been nerfed in the game, which is unfortunate. Before, this was ludicrous how this car was, how fast it was, how much acceleration it had, etc. Unfortunately being nerfed, but I do still have a soft spot for the Citroen 2CV, and quite rightly, in my opinion, takes a place in the garage. Last car that I'm going to kind of cover off here is my first car in game, the Alpine A110 Legend. I still love it. We were actually using it just the other night when we were doing a live cruise. Still think it's a fantastic car, fully maxing it out. I've not driven it as much as I probably should have in the game, but yeah, probably still one of my more favoured cars in the game. I'm actually going to see, can we leave the garage just here in the Huracan and going to have a little look at what else we have achieved. But before we do leave the hotel, we're going to come up to the apartment. Now, of course, this is one of the very few lifestyle things we have in the game, and it isn't through choice, it's through progression. Being at level 60, well, we've got the top apartment that we can have in the game, which, as it currently sits, isn't really very interactable. There's not a lot we can do in the apartment other than, well, realistically, is come over here to the dressing room and actually have a look what we have in our inventory. Not something I tend to look at all too often. It's not something that I'm overly big on. It is nice to customize our characters to how we want them to be, but it's not something I tend to change all too much. But I think that's also due to the fact that we can't actually get out the vehicles and walk about with our characters. Perhaps we want to come in and select what hat, t-shirt, whatever it is it's wearing so we can walk about. Of course, going over to the casino, these things may change. But looking at it, yeah, a lot of the rewards I've got here, or a lot of the items I've got here, are all rewards. The top hat for St. Patrick's Day, the racing helmet, things like this. Most things I have here are rewards. A lot of the glasses as well, rewards, or we got them as standard with the game. You know, a lot of things in game I don't actually purchase. I kind of focus on the cars more than what we've got here. Cool items. I like these, like the Christmas jumper. It's a fun little feature that has been added into the game. The Navy Audi t-shirt, that was an issue when that one came out, wasn't it? The solar turtleneck, we won't say anything more on that. You know, it's luxury items that we want to have in the game, but we also have to have a purpose for these luxury items, which is something, well, we simply don't have right now. That's a flamboyant looking jacket we've got right there. It's actually quite interesting to come here and look at what we do have. That was a reward. That was the Audi reward, yeah. It's interesting. It's not something I think I've actually done all too much, was come and have a look through the inventory, what we've managed to collect so far, what style of pants or skirts we perhaps want to put in our character. Now I know it's there for the female players mostly. Come on. Dresses. Yeah, this is actually quite interesting to see what we have got here. Now that signet ring, I said I wanted to have that, but if I were to wear a watch, I can't also wear the signet ring. I've got to choose one of the two. Hopefully that gets changed. We can wear multiple layers in the accessories side of the wardrobe. Socks, don't really care. Shoes, yep, it is what it is. Outfits, which are just... they're there. I'll leave it at that. We have outfits. You know, there are some cool ones. The Ryan Wilder outfit is a fantastic outfit in the game, but I mean, we'll move on from this. Emotes. Yep, I do actually quite like using some of the emotes, some of the ones we've seen recently, the push-ups and things like that. They're actually quite cool to see. I'm actually going to assign this one where we've got that right now. Yeah, we'll assign that one. These are all kind of things we have when we interact with one another. But there's more to the game. I would first of all want to come in and address the menu. This is where everything should be that we want to come in and kind of have a look at how much progression we've done. Yes, we've got good... we had, I'm going to say had, because it's not really changed much since we kind of completed what we've got here with the clan influence. I'm level 70, there's no further progression from the clan influence to come back and play about with the instant challenge. If we could do it, I can't. So we have a look at what else comes here. The Frim challenges, for instance, I do come back and complete those ones out. Over towards the Solar Pass, at the time of recording, where I am right now, I've got 47 days left to complete the last 10 levels, which... for the most part, have really only got one more purpose for myself, and that's level 45 to get the last 50,000 coins that are sitting on the Solar Pass. Of course, I like to complete everything, so I'm going to complete this out. We've already got the LaFerrari Aperta at the start of this season. So realistically, is there a need to complete it? There's not, but I want to be a completionist and I want to complete the Solar Pass. So yeah, I've got 10 levels to finish progressing there. Ranked competitions. There's no point looking at this because we can't do it. Clan Battle Calendar. There's no point looking at that because it doesn't really change all too much. Cars. We've got a good collection of cars. We kind of had a look at that already. I don't have every car in the game. I don't want every car in the game. I want to have slow progression through all the vehicles. This is an interesting one, however. The Mercedes 300 SL and the Volkswagen Buggy. These are two cars that we had to find in the game. And that's been it. After we found these two vehicles, that's been all we've had for them. There's been a couple of live events we've had to have these vehicles to use in them, which is perfectly fine. But for, since then, we've had one, no further vehicles to find, and two, no real utility for them other than the initial quest to find the Volkswagen Beetle Bug and the 300 SL. I hope that changes in the future. But the garage itself, we've kind of stacked it out, buying cars when they've been needed for the live events, jumping in to test the Celine cars when they've came for the better, or perhaps in some people's opinion, for the worse. I personally quite like that. It's fun, it's quirky, it's a rear-wheel drive, and you can do endos in it. I don't mind the 500 Abartha Celine edition, it's just not very usable in game. But for the most part, I've bought cars when they were required. The Ajira most recently. A few cars we've gotten here from the gold edition of the game, the likes of the ZL1 1LE Camaro, then of course having to buy the likes of the Hellcat, the Daytona Cobra Coupe, rewarding ourselves through the Solar Pass with the DeLorean, which I've driven once since I got it. I don't like it in the game, it's useless. There's a whole host of cars here we've been able to play about with, had the luxury to play about with, but I'm not in sense of a completionist that I want every car in the game. I kind of want to have that slow and steady progression. But what has 330 hours look like? Before I actually touch on that, we can see in the bottom right of the screen just around about 2,000 miles on this. So the in-screen dashboard in the garage doesn't actually show the right mileage. However, when we come out here onto the road, it shows 3,112 kilometers. Bottom right of the screen, 1,933 miles. So that's quite frustrating. But yeah, moving on from that, what does 330 hours in test drive truly look like? Completing every live weekly event has been great. You guys would see that on the channel, that I've literally completed every event bar one, which was this most recent week in the Jaguar D-Type. I'm not spending 18 million credits to buy one car to win one race to get paid 18,000 credits. It's nonsensical to me, considering right now I'm saving for season 4 in the casino. But moving on from that, completing every live weekly event, getting all of those sticker rewards, which just fills me with so much joy, as you can imagine. Yeah, we've managed to box all of that off. Having a look onto the map right here, if I select all of our races, well, I've literally completed every single race bar a couple that are sitting on the map here. If I take off, what am I looking to take off here? Live events. We don't want this on. We don't want players on. What else do we really need to take off here? Take off navigations. Yeah, here we go. Every race on both the Hong Kong Island map and the Ibiza map, we've completed them all. From the standard races that we've got here up towards the Crown Jewel races was the word I was looking for. Completed them all. Boxed them off. Had tons of fun. Now, yes, I want to see rotation. I want to see changes, in particular to the Crown Jewel races, that, you know, I think would actually accelerate the game itself. Having a look at Crown Jewel Topaz, which I have completed, but it says I haven't completed it. I promise you guys, I have completed this race, and I'm going to have to go back and do this one again. I would like to see rotation on these races. Right now we can see Crown Jewel Topaz is an 8.2 mile navigation race for supercars and hypercars. Get rotation on that. Make it Daily Driver, make it Grand Tourer, make it BMW versus Mercedes, or something like that. Make a bit of a variation to those races and create more in-game. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the progression, where I am after 330 hours in TDU. A stacked garage. Every car has had, or every car bar a couple I should say, has had parts added, tunes modified. Most have liveries built. I've spent countless hours building liveries in this game for them to be shadow banned, like this one here on the Huracan. So yeah, I think it's been 330 hours well spent, well documented all through here in the channel, which you guys, I thank you so much for supporting on. I think it's been 330 hours well spent, and I look forward to spending another 330 hours and more on this game. Moving into Season 4, well, maybe a lot of those hours won't actually be spent racing. They'll be spent in the casino and enjoying myself with some friends, like we've been doing recently with the live cruises that we've been jumping on doing. I think there's a whole world that's about to get opened up with this game, with the change the devs are going to be making in Year 2 and of course into Season 4. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Without criticism, there has been plenty, but I have enjoyed myself, and I do look forward to what's coming next. Guys, please let me know in the comment section down below. 1, how many hours you've played. 2, your favourite car in game. And 3, the biggest change you want to see made. Now, I already know most people are going to tell me it's integration of cross-platform and cross-region, but be a bit different. Give me a different answer. What change you want to see made to Test Drive Unlimited Solar Ground, guys. Once again, I do thank you for tuning in, watching the videos, however good or bad they may have been, however many screen stutters and verbal stutters there may have been. I do thank you guys for tuning in, and I do hope you do continue to do so. If you've liked today's video and every other video we have made, guys, please do smash that like button. Consider hitting subscribe if you have not already. And we'll maybe come back here when we reach 400, 500, 600 hours, whatever it may be, and have another recap of where we are. Stay tuned, guys, as always, for more updates and more content, more importantly, on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Ground.